a ghoul to the face? Anyone ought to a ghoul to the face?
Time always runs out.
Anyone ought to a ghoul to the face?
I mean, that's Hearthstone, right? You know?
Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and today I just want to talk about something that is just, it's bothering me. I know you probably saw the day one patch review. We talked about Hearthstone Twist, but it just baffles me right now. The decisions that have been made around the mode that I just don't understand, and I want to go over that, but also give suggestions on how I think things can be improved, because this is a beta. This is the first format. This is something they say even in these notes they are going to take feedback on and improve on going forward. But I also want to hear your comments on how you're feeling about Twist, because I'm having the problem of like, it just doesn't seem like people care, because the launch has just been, either the launch has been poor or the mode itself. Do people just not want it? I do know that people want free stuff, and we have our giveaway going on of 2 mega bundles, 2 regular pre-orders for the Titans expansion. All you have to do to enter that giveaway, by the way, is like and comment in the video description below. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I think July 23rd, I'll add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. But I tweeted out earlier today, basically, I don't think I will be making any more content for Twist under the new age format. And I posted my numbers. I don't usually post my YouTube numbers, but I put the best deck recommendation. It's a brand new mode. It's all new decks. Well, not really, because of Wild. Maybe that's the problem, but they're new decks, and like, it's a new mode, and don't people want to check out the decks? And it performed worse, or really poorly. The worst video was my Twist gameplay video, which was my worst video of the entire year, but I kind of expected that. And I had like other content creators like Warshak come in. I've had Rarn come into my chat and talk about how Twist just hasn't really worked out for him, and it's like content creating wise doesn't feel spectacular. Go to like the Hearthstone subreddit, there's like no discussion about it. It's really weird. We have this brand new mode and no one's talking. They're not even memeing on it. Like, we're just talking about Titans because it looks really sweet, and that's really about it. Like, it's just not happening. So it's kind of baffling to me that a mode, at least for me, Hearthstone Twist, to me, is like a dream mode. It's what I've always wanted on Hearthstone, where we can have custom rules and play, like it says, nostalgic formats, right? Nostalgic Twist formats. But the part, of course, that's baffling is the expansions they included, right? We go nostalgic formats and we go all the way back to 2020. Ashes of Outland, which rotated like a year ago, and the majority and everything else rotated 2 or 3 months ago. It's all stuff we've already seen. It's not nostalgic for almost anybody. And then they said they want to spice up really cool rules, right? Like, you think about maybe it'd be like a Highlander only mode, or you can only run odd cards, even cards, or something crazy like that, and they just take neutrals out, which actually just limits deck building and makes quest lines nearly uncounterable. So the decision of this expansion choice is pretty baffling to me. The argument, of course, is, well, we have all the standard cards, so it's a bit more accessible, and the older stuff, like, relatively newer, so people might have it, but it doesn't hook people like at all. I even tweeted this was a few days ago. This was before it even launched, that Twist content interest seems very low. Main problem seems to be it's mostly the same decks and cards that we saw last year in Stormwind and Alterac were so dominant, so not exactly loved. Hoping an older format will be received better, like Old Gods and Agoro. Like, I'm curious to see, like, if they had launched with that, would excitement be higher? Mark responded, who's been really vocal about Twist, that it's been baffling to me why they decided to choose such a safe format for the first season of Twist. It's just way too similar to the current ladder experience. We need a big, flashy, and exciting, especially the seasons are only going to be a month long anyway, right? Like, it's hard to get invested. We're going to talk about the monetization part, and that's where I think a big thing can be improved. Rarn, again, like I mentioned, chimed in, seeing quest lines so soon is not great. One of the most powerful mechanics that people were excited to finally rotate, and they show up again in less than one expansion cycle. I think Twist has so much potential for content, and I'm so excited for it, but this one isn't it. And again, this was before it launched. It was like the writing was on the wall, and Regis also chimed in. Like, it's a pretty big heavyweights, right? Yeah, looks like Wild Light is not going to be the most engaging. Hopefully it doesn't sour people on the idea entirely. I hope we get more, one, nostalgia farms, like you mentioned, and two, crazy rule breaks or card modifiers that expand possibilities in new ways. So the argument basically made by all three of them is not so much the accessibility, which again, I want to talk about that, but is the actual content. Like, it's just, who's getting excited about Stormwind? Like, it just left. It's like the most divisive expansion meta ever. I've never been in more Twitter fights over United and Stormwind than anything else. And they actually emerged right away when we started playing, getting into debates about all that. But the other big thing, of course, is the accessibility. And you go into the shop, these battle ready decks just don't make the cut. They're so expensive. 3,200 gold for a set that is going to last for maybe a month. And just imagine you spend 3,200 gold on this big warrior deck and you are going to get farmed by everything. I think it might be able to beat like Quest Demon Hunter because you could clear their stuff, but they'll still probably beat you with glides and early scam. Like, and it's so expensive, right? And the decks just don't make a lot of sense. It's just like, this is your way of getting in there. It also doesn't make great sense. So one of the things I suggested, and I think this would be huge, and I don't think they'll ever do it, and I said this in my tweet, imagine, you see how you have these big standard focused expansions in the shop, and then you have the other stuff, the stuff that just isn't as, demanded. It's not as popular. People probably, I don't have the numbers, but I cannot imagine that these wild packs in particular, take a look at like the Grand Tournament, Grand Tournament pack in 2023, one of the worst expansions ever in terms of power level, cost the exact same amount of gold and money as the card that just came out today. I think it would be amazing and would help out not only Twist, not only Wild, but Duels if they cut the price in half of every expansion that's like been out of standard for maybe like a year. Like, maybe not immediately, like Wild, You're the Griffin, right? Maybe these packs, they stay full price for like a year because you don't have to disenchant right away. But imagine like these older packs were like 50 gold each. 50 gold each, and the cards that they came in with it were like, you could craft them for half the cost, you get half the dust back. I feel like not only would they start selling these packs, because again, I can't imagine they do, but again, if I'm wrong, then they'll never do that because I'd be throwing money away. But imagine like half the price, and you could actually fill out these Twist collections and all of that. And also, the battle ready decks cannot be 3,200 gold. They just cannot be this expensive. When a mini set, which is always in the game, right? Like, it's permanent standard, it's not rotating out, right? Like, a lot of these cards in the next format for Twist won't even be active. You get a mini set, it's standard, it's at least always active in standard and Wild. You don't know about this stuff. Like, these will be active likely in standard and Wild, but it's a mixed bag. They're just way too expensive. When you take a look at the actual format itself and what people are playing, Corbett getting rank 1 again, they have 11 star with the Wild thing, so they're kind of just trading. Gets there with Questline Shaman. It's all the same decks we have seen. Questline Shaman, and even look at his matchmaking. The matchmaking's so bad at High Legend. He faced the same person like almost every single time. Mirrors, Outcast Demon Hunter. And the only data I've been able to find for actual decks in Twist, this is Donkey Site. There's literally only data on Quest Druid, Demon Hunter, Quest Druid, Demon Hunter, Quest Shaman. It's like a 3-deck format at best with Howling Mage, another OTK deck. So the gameplay doesn't seem to be engaging people. And when you have, I'm just going to show these cards, like, you have these in the game. You have the old gods, you have N'Zoth, you have Yogg, some of the coolest cards ever. Again, you go over to Ngoro. I just reminded like of the cool like minions like Volcanosaur, the cool elementals, Blaze Caller. You have cards like Ultrasaur in your arsenal. It's just like, why can we not like go back and use some of this stuff? Like, that's when I think Twist is really probably going to take off in terms of at least some more interest, some more hype, when you can actually play these cards in like this limited format where all these new powerful cards aren't allowed. And maybe I can play Jungle Giants and win a game. Maybe Brian Kibler can summon the Galvadon again and win a game. That's up. By the way, I like how I'm looking at quests while complaining about quest lines. How times change, right? But that's where I feel like Twist needs to be improved the most, is not only the monetization, the accessibility, making like wild packs buyable, maybe putting in that subscription model I suggested, but just making the stuff, making the actual formats itself a lot more interesting, a lot more like actually nostalgia driven as it was put in the patch notes. And for the short term, I'd love to see, you know, a quick like emergency like ban of the quest lines from New Age. Just ban all the quest lines, and I feel like it'd be a little bit more refreshing. It'd probably be a lot of weapon rogue and like hero power mage and Hala OTK mage. But at the end of the day, if we're not seeing quest lines every game, I feel like maybe there'd be a little bit more excitement. But I just feel like in general, New Age is just not the format that's really good to get at least my audience's butts in the seats. And if you look at Twitch and everywhere else, I just don't see it. But I'd be interested to see their own internal metrics, how much people are playing. And I do want to hear from you how you feel about Twist, what you think needs to change, or is it just a mode you just don't care about? It doesn't matter what's in there. Even if we could spike Ridge Steed again, maybe you just don't care. You want to play standard or arena or wild or duels or battlegrounds. Let me know. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.